Well, this morning we are going to jump back into John 8. If you want to open your Bibles with me this morning, we're going to be starting now with verse 13, although I am going to mention verse 12 one more time before we go further. You may remember last week I did what for me was almost a first, and that was I spent the entire time talking about one verse. Just not normal for me, but we'll see if I can catch up a little bit today. All right? As we look at John 8, we recognize that Jesus is here in the Feast of Tabernacles, and from John 7 through John 10, Jesus is in the Feast of Tabernacles. What you may remember about that Feast of Tabernacles is Israel is looking back at their time in the wilderness and God tabernacling with them, and so they would make those booths or tents to celebrate their remembrance of their freedom from Egypt and God tabernacling with them. That was looking back, but also that feast was to look forward to the time when Messiah would come and tabernacle with them, and he would pour out his Spirit upon all flesh, right? So that was part of it, and also that he would be the light of the world and a light to the Gentiles, like Israel was supposed to be. So those where we had those two rituals, we encountered the one where Jesus said, if anyone thirsts, let him come to me and drink, and it'll be like rivers of flowing water coming out of his heart. We saw that in John 7, and he's pointing to that ritual where the priests would go around the altar and say, Lord, save us, or what we know as Hosanna, which is the Aramaic. But the idea is, save us, Lord, save us to the utmost. And they were looking forward to Messiah coming and doing that. And that's what that ritual was about. And then you also had, the idea of the ritual of the lampstands, where the young rabbis would climb up these ladders and light these bowls of oil every evening, and it would light up the entire city. You could see them from anywhere in the city. And they would do that for the entire 7-day time of the Feast of Tabernacles. And here we have in John 8, verse 12, right after they try to trap him with the woman caught in adultery, and Jesus has just dealt with that, stands up and he says, I'm the light of the world. I'm the light of the world. I'm the guy that you guys are celebrating. I'm the guy that you guys are pointing forward to or thinking about coming. Well, that's me. And they get it. They get it. Because we move forward from verse 12, and the first thing that they say is, in verse 13, Pharisees therefore said to him, you bear witness of yourself. Your witness is not true. Well, what are they responding to? They're responding to what he just said. Because he's there in this feast, which points forward to the Messiah, and one of the ways that they did that was all these lights every evening. And here Jesus said, well, that's me. I'm the light of the world. If anyone follows after me, he won't walk in darkness, right? He'll have the light of life. So that leads them to say, no, your witness is not true because you're witnessing of yourself. They're going back to the Jewish law idea of every fact is confirmed by 2 or 3 witnesses. And they're trying again to trap him. And what we're going to find through much of the rest of this chapter is it sounds like Jesus' teaching, but really it's a confrontation between him and the Pharisees because they've already rejected him. This is late in his ministry, but where it is in his ministry, and think with me for just a second, you recognize the Feast of Tabernacles is the last of the 7 feasts. In the year, it's the last of the fall feasts. And what we know is that Jesus actually was crucified on Passover, which is the first of the spring feasts. So what we have is Jesus standing up after having been rejected by Israel's leaders, and he begins to say, here I am in the Feast of Tabernacles, haven't made it yet to Passover because for me to fulfill my mission, I got to make it all the way around to next year to the time of Passover so that I can be sacrificed on Passover. But right now, that's still me. I am the Messiah. I am who you guys are proclaiming that you want to come. Well, I'm here. Well, Jesus answered and said to them, even if I bear witness of myself, my witness is true, for I know where I came from and where I'm going. And of course, we look at that and we go, we know he's talking about heaven, right? He's talking about the right hand of the Father.